Good everyone, my name is Spartacus, you can call me Spotty. I hope you guys are doing well, because today we're going to be focusing on aiming and how you can find the fastest and most sustainable way to improve your aim in FPS games. Please bear with me, this is a lot of information, but by the end of this video, you'll have all the tools needed to improve your aim in the shortest amount of time possible. Please use this video as a guide and find out what works for you. Whether you are playing Apex Legends, Warzone or any other FPS games, these tips would be beneficial for your aim training journey. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Tip number 1. Importance of aiming. I'm going to be a bit controversial, but it's important that you don't overestimate the importance of your aim. Don't get me wrong, aim is important, but there's more aspects to focus on than just your aiming when being a better FPS player. For example, your position and your movement and your game sense. But I'll be explaining that in another video for you guys. This brings us to tip number 2, equipment. You don't need the best equipment to be the best player. Rather buy what you can afford and work around the rest. But if you have some spending money, here's a couple of things you can buy. Please do your research before buying new equipment. First, a mouse. I would recommend reading through 7 things to consider before buying a gaming mouse from Cyber Gaming. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Then I would recommend buying a monitor. 100Hz and up should be fine, and a 1 millisecond delay time. Doesn't matter about the size, but I prefer 24 inch. Then I would recommend getting a PC that can run over 100 frames per second. I'll put my setup down below for those who want to know. Last but not least, a big enough mousepad for your sensitivity, which brings us to the next tip. Tip number 3, sensitivity. Mouse sensitivity is measured in centimeters per 360. I will explain in depth in a later video. Nonetheless, here's a basic explanation. Centimeter per 360. If I have a 33 centimeter per 360 sensitivity, then it means from my keyboard and I move my mouse to the right 33 centimeters, that distance there is 33 centimeters obviously. So my character did a full rotation 360 degree in that 33 centimeters. Now 20 cm per 360 and lower is classified as a high sensitivity, and a 40 cm per 360 and higher is classified as a low or very low sensitivity. Lower sensitivity is more precise, especially with a micro adjustment, but it comes at a cost with a bigger mouse pad. High sensitivity, you don't need as big of a mouse pad, but the micro adjustments is much harder to do. There's a ton of videos explaining which one is better, but I prefer more balanced sensitivity of 33 centimeters per 360. Okay guys, before we continue, let's go to your mouse settings, additional mouse options, pointer options. Enhancer pointer precision should be disabled because this makes your mouse really inconsistent, and then you're going to make sure that your select pointer speed is on 6. And you put your mouse on the DPI, whichever you're familiar with. Mine is 400 DPI. My in-game sensitivity for Warzone is 10.5, and my in-game sensitivity for Kovac is also 10.5, which brings us to our next tip. Tip number 4, aim trainer. Kovac is by far the best aim trainer in my opinion. It has endless amount of scenarios and thousands of reviews. It costs about $14, but I still think it's really worth it. There are free aim trainers like Aim Labs that also works great, but I follow Aimer7's guide in my aim training journey. If you are serious about training your aim, I would highly recommend that you read Aimer7's guide. He explains in depth how to train properly in Kovac. I will put this link in the description down below. He recommends scenarios for each level of trainer from beginner to advanced. He says also to practice 3 hours a day, but to be honest, not everyone can practice 3 hours a day, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. The reason you want to practice on aim trainers is because you don't have as much downtime looking for things to shoot and spend more time actually shooting things and building muscle memory. When I have time to go through these routines, they last about 45 minutes in total. I set goals for myself and I don't go mindlessly in my training. I usually change my goals, it depends on the last session. So here's my settings and routines. Alright guys, my Kovac settings. Go in there, you get the sensitivity scales on Overwatch because it's identical to Warzone. And Apex and Valorant and Fortnite, all the other FPS pretty much is there. And horizontal sensitivity is 10.5, same as Call of Duty. My FOV measurement is 16:9, same as Call of Duty, and my FOV is 120 at my max FPS. Well, that's not the same as Call of Duty, but I wish. Weapons, that's where I'm just going to change my crosshair, and that's the bullseye because of the small dot, so you can see the targets much easier. Now, to my routines, guys. First is my clicking routine. That is to get that first shot on target. And then it's going to be 1 more 6 target TE. And that's just for general clicking. 1 more 6 target small. That's going to be for more advanced clicking. You're going to take your time a little bit more there. 1 more 6 target, just small. That's going to be some just flicking around the corner. If they push around the corner, you just flick on them. And that's it, small adjustments. Tracking, that is to get that follow-up shots on target. Sato AC, long strafes, I'm using that it's just a general getting used to the tracking. Ascended tracking 90, that is target switching actually also, but it's just 2 targets, but it's still like long strafes, it's just further down the road or further and closer. Vertical long strafes, that's like Sato AC long strafe, is just vertical rather than horizontal. Then target switch, that's the best of both worlds. Now tile Fredgy is a super fun exercise, as you can see how fast that is for me. I like it very much. Bad target switch, I'm getting easy, just get used to it. I'll go advanced later on. Bounce 180 tracking, this is actually kind of difficult, but once you get the hang of it, you get used to it. But it's a good exercise as well. Alright guys, after this playlist I've got about 30 to 45 minutes of playtime, and that's when I'll be going to my bot lobbies, which brings us to tip number 5. I know Apex Legends don't have bot lobbies, but they've got training grounds and you can set up your own routine there, and there's plenty of videos out there to show how to do that. Custom lobbies are a must because you learn the game's mechanics. Now that's the gun recoil and character movement. And also you can add bots and set their health to simulate the Warzone. So overall, really great exercise. I will be spending 15 to 30 minutes in a bot lobby to practice with my loadout and also getting used to my aiming with my movement. And here's my settings and my routine. Right guys, in the game setup, I'll take Speedball as my map, and my mode is free for all, so they shoot each other and not just me. And in the custom game, I'll make my time limit and score limit unlimited, and my match start time 5 seconds, so I can start much quicker. And the max health I'm going to put on 300 to simulate the Warzone. It's actually 250, but I play on 300 just to get myself used to it. And then on the gameplay, you want to spawn your mags, you want it on max as well, otherwise you're going to run out of ammo really quick. And then you can just jump into the game, and I'll see you guys there. For the most part, I'll be aiming for headshots during this session, because the accuracy of hip firing is lower than aiming down sights. I tend to aim more to the high chest area, otherwise the chance of hitting all my shots is lower. If I'm lucky, I'll get a headshot or 2. What the? My coffee break time. Look at my face. I actually recommend taking a break every now and then, otherwise you get burnt out. Even if it's just for a few seconds, just to get that blood flow running again in all your goody goosey places. I'm actually quite happy with the progress of my aiming. Here's a match, solo v trio Warzone, and unfortunately I didn't win, but I had a lot of kills, so I'm happy. Enjoy. Full team, bro. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.